You wouldn't believe it, but in Pakistan, even truck batteries deemed unusable can be refurbished and reused. The skill of Pakistani craftsmen is nothing short of miraculous. A simple internal repair of the battery yields a product as good as new. First, they measure the battery. A lack of response indicates the internal plates can no longer store charge. Then, the craftsmen open up the battery. Even if it can't hold a charge now, it doesn't mean the internal plates are beyond use. They sort out the blackened plates, drawing out the negative plates that seem reusable. To cut down on refurbishing costs, the insulation boards extracted from the battery are reused. Typically, there's residual oxide on the surface, which is washed off in water and dried again. However, these plates still don't meet the requirements for reuse, because the tabs on the plates are too short. They need to repair these tabs, and while they lack professional tools, they employ special methods to do so. The only downside is the inability to control the length, so the repaired tabs have to be trimmed. The craftsmen meticulously sand the surface. After repairing the tabs, they restack the plates with the insulation boards in the correct order. A standard battery is made up of 6 sets of plates connected in series, each set containing both positive and negative plates, which must not touch directly. So, the dried insulation boards are interspersed between them, ensuring complete separation of the positive and negative plates. Originally, the plate groups are connected by casting in molds, but without high-end molds, the holes in the battery's separators can only be filled. The main goal is to prevent the electrolyte from running amok. Next, they heat seal the top of the separators, creating the craftsman's modified connection points. The sorted and fixed plate groups need to be connected, and for a more aesthetically pleasing cast, they use homemade iron plate molds for shaping. Directly cast plate groups may have gaps, so to avoid the risk of them falling apart later, the craftsmen melt the surface with a soldering iron, reinforcing it. The assembly phase follows swiftly. Once the plates fully touch the bottom of the casing, the posts are trimmed to be flush with the battery casing separators, facilitating the welding process for the craftsman. Their soldering iron is also powered by a fully charged battery, generating high temperatures only when the positive and negative ends touch, achieving the purpose of welding the posts. After completing these crucial steps, they reassemble the top cover. Following the craftsman's meticulous sanding, they replicate the original terminals using molds, allowing the battery to be connected via terminal clamps. Then, the craftsmen seal the battery. Lacking a high-end heat sealer in the shop, they melt the casing of a discarded battery for sealing. Once the top cover is fully adhered, they use a hydrometer to measure the prepared electrolyte. When the concentration meets the requirements, they can fill the battery with the electrolyte, which is primarily dilute sulfuric acid. The new battery then needs to be reactivated. Since they don't have a high-end multimeter, a fully charged battery is tested only by sparking, startling the craftsman with the spark. Now, the refurbished battery is ready for normal use. Would you use such a battery?